The price of bread is likely to rise further as a result of Russia-Ukraine war. The president said Uganda would have a solution for every problem if we can deal with climate change.
There is war in Ukraine and Russia. There will be no bread. If there is no bread, eat muhogo. Muhogo is here. What is the problem? You know, Africans really confuse themselves.
Opposition politicians described the president's statement as a diversion.
So I think rather than condemn or blame Ugandans for complaining or for getting worried, they have every right to be worried because their livelihood is being threatened.
The intention of his speech was to tell the country that I have no solution. Everybody should look for his own solution. He was just trying to find a smarter way of saying so. And indeed, he has no solution.
These are the Marie Antoinettes of today. How much is cassava today? When you go to the market, does Mr. Museveni even know how much cassava is? Because look at the urban centers, for example. People don't even have gardens. They're staying in, you know, slum areas and that kind of thing. Whatever they eat, they have to buy with money. Really, this is what happens when we get to a place like we are now. But I think that sometimes when, as a leader, you don't have what to say, just be quiet.
Cassava is becoming more expensive day by day because diesel, as we speak, buys 5,000 plus. That means that the transportation of that commodity to towns, it is also in itself very, very expensive. That means as time goes by, he will suggest that let all the people go back to the villages. But even in the villages, things are not easy.
Semujunganda, the spokesperson of Forum for Democratic Change Party, said the president's statements on oil are a repetition of his old stories. The president said on Sunday that the hike in prices should not worry Ugandans much because Uganda's petroleum will soon be ready for use.
And if Museveni is waiting for the oil to get out of power, maybe we'll still have Museveni here. Because this oil is oil also of investors. Uganda has invested less. So these companies that have invested in oil will be the ones determining when this oil will come out. And for them, they go and buy reserves all over the world. They may come for yours of Uganda 10 years from now.
I'm one of those who actually are glad that Mr. Museveni is going to leave power before we begin to extract that oil. Because if he and his government touch on that oil, we are in trouble.
Let us see government come up and do its part. If they are failed, let them let us know. We find alternative.
The ruling NRM's Director of Communication, Emmanuel Dombo, said the president's statement were aimed at encouraging Ugandans to opt for organic foods and that the government is aware of the steep commodity prices.
The opposition parties say the government should instead implement budget cuts to fund tax subsidies on essential goods for the meantime until global prices stabilize. Edward Muhumza, NTV.